energy of December relates to the 6th of December 2021 to the 4th of January 2022. Remember that we look at time slightly differently using energy work, and that's why we're looking at those dates. So I count that all to be the month of December. The energy of this month shows endings and emotional clearings. And I'm not just saying this because this is December. This is literally what shows up in the energy chart for that month. It's showing a eye on or review of assets. It's showing that there is wisdom available, and also that people are seeking wisdom. So remember, when you're reaching out to people and you're connecting on social media, etc., these are things that you can talk about. And actually, it just so happens that this energy aligns with December, and it's a perfect time to be talking about. So let's think about the year. Let's think about what needs to change, etc. It's a time also energetically when people may be seeking alliances, because the alliance hexagram is there, okay, in that month. And alliances are about collaborations or doing things with others. And sometimes, remember, alliances are just about helping someone. Or sometimes alliances are just about allowing somebody to help you. And then other things grow and sort of spread and trigger off as a result from that by themselves, right? That's the whole idea of energy. It's finding that point of least resistance, most flow with ease. So notice what things show up for you, opportunities, or what opportunities are available for you in relation to things. And there's also here in December, there's a real focus on finance for everybody around, not just entrepreneurs, everybody. And there could also be a lot of people, that are feeling really, really quite down, or they're shedding emotions, releasing things. And, this is your opportunity to help them. And sometimes we help people because we want to create opportunities, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as the help intention is genuine. Sometimes we help people just because we're going to help people, and it's really, really important to, in energy like that, where there's energy of endings and things like that, give yourself a break. If you're feeling affected because there is shorter light hours in the day and longer nights, or if you're also doing this, because this is all affecting you as well, if you're looking back on the year and don't really feel good about it or anything like that, be compassionate with yourself, okay? And from that space, connect out with other people. This month's energy is overwhelming. It's water element energy, and water element energy is really, really emotional. Think about what happens when there's too much water. We have floods, right? People potentially drown, and it's overwhelming as an experience. And so imagine the equivalent emotionally and with the circumstances around you or the thoughts. And so it's important for you to embody regular grounding exercises. I'm not just saying do grounding exercises. When you embody something, you do it to the extent that it feels natural, right? So when you first start meditating, you really have to focus. But if you do it regularly enough, guess what? You can connect into the energy really quickly, and it feels more natural. So that's what I mean by embody. And also, grounding, when you're embodying grounding, it means that you're feeling it on a physical level, the effects, okay? So that's really important and incredibly helpful. And and what it will do is it will help you stay on track. It will help you keep your energy in the right place, so that you can stay on schedule with your work and motivated and able to do it. Because sometimes it's just simply you just don't feel able to do it, right? But allow a little space. So scheduling and structuring is a good thing as well. Maybe diarising certain things in December and then making sure that you follow your diary. That will also help because that calms down the effect of water energy, but actually also allows space for a little bit of flow, because water brings change and movement. And actually, let's be honest here, quite often when change comes, it's not easy on some level, way, shape, or form. There's because something else has to transform in order for the new change to implement, right? So just allow for that, and be very compassionate with yourself when you're talking to your clients and people. Talk about, make a little, maybe you're talking to somebody and you just say to them, listen, before we go into this, how are things? How are you feeling? How's life? And then have a little bit of a 5-10 minute chat, then go into the thing. You know what, you're going to have a very different person that you're talking to than if you were to just go in and say, okay, great, thanks for coming here today, shall we talk about this? Right? When you allow yourself and your grounding to transport to help them ground and release some of their overwhelm, you're potentially going to make the difference between somebody who decides to recommend you or buy from you or becomes a real fan of yours versus just an interaction, basically. And then in December, look, December, even if people aren't feeling great, is feng shui wise, I can't wait till we get to December. I have to say, I cannot wait till we get to December because there's some amazing energies. In fact, I have to be really honest with you. This is the chart that I spent longest on, the feng shui chart, because there's too much to choose from. Basically, there's a lot of really good energy around to tap into in December. So I'm going to start off with the South, okay? Because the South is good for money generation. You want to do it in a heart-based, authentic activity type way, but definitely it's a focus on money generation, income generation there in the South. So, for example, in the South, you might decide to work from the South that day and make some calls to existing clients to say, if you do, for example, if you did a year's something, to say, listen, would you like to sign up for next year, because I've got some really exciting things for you, etc., right? You do that from the South. Or if you don't do stuff like that, you might just decide to contact existing people and say, look, you know what, I've been working with you for long enough, I'd really like to have a conversation. What's worked for you best? What's worked for you not as well? Because, depending on what you say, maybe I can create something that is bespoke or something based on what you and other people say that is even more relevant for 2022, right? Or as a new product, etc. So the South is for income generation. The East is for collaborations, partnerships, people conversation, or meetings to grow and strengthen your tribe. I want you to pay attention to my use of the tribes. These people who are following you, social media, etc. The Southeast is useful around team or family matters. Because let's face it, if something terrible is going on in our family, it will affect our businesses too. So I absolutely want to share that with you. The Southeast is good for team or family members. This is different to tribe, especially relating to money matters. So don't be surprised if there are people who are having money conversations with their partners or each other, etc. And that might even happen for you in your household too. I just want to remind you, because I've given you 3 areas this month. I haven't done that before. There was one month I gave you 2, but I've not given you so many before. So I said South for money and income generation. I said East for collaborations and partnerships or people-related matters, tribe-based. And then I said Southeast around team or family members. So these are people closer to you in your inner circle, basically. That's the differentiation. So let's just very quickly review. How do you use your space using feng shui? First of all, look around it, make sure it feels good, looks good, it's good to be in. right? No good me saying to you the South is good for income generation, and actually it's a store cupboard, and you go in there thinking, God, I hope that suitcase doesn't fall on me. It's all right, it's only a 10-minute phone call. Maybe if I sit to one side and it falls, right? You're not going to operate properly. So deal with the space first, because it's literally having an effect. And then the second thing you do is you physically be in that space, and you do activities that are related to what it is you want to achieve, your goal, your vision, the person you want to get a yes from, or learn things about, connect with. So in this case, we're talking about marketing heavily when we talk about visibility on social media, when we talk about attracting people into events or into your circle, into your tribe, right? We're talking about money making. So this is your income and consistency of it. We're talking about feeling a sense of achievement, your business actually moving forward and keeping on schedule as well. With the fourth goal that we were going to look at over this series, which is being focused and disciplined in crafting your day. What you want to do is make sure that when in December you are working on things, because the energy all around supports endings, okay? Remember, endings lead to beginnings. Okay, endings are a wonderful thing. They're clearing out of what isn't good anymore. And it's very easy to get stuck in a pattern without realizing you're stuck in it. So it's a really, really good time for you to really, really think about what could change, what needs to change, talking through with partners, people you're collaborating with, where are the useful endings? Spot them, like you do a spot the difference on a picture. You have two pictures that are the same, but there's one of them has small changes, and when you look at them immediately, you have no idea. You don't even notice there are changes. But when you look at it a bit more deeply, you realize there are differences. Spot what needs to end or change in some way, shape, or form. And don't worry about the fact that endings naturally are emotional. They're supposed to be. When you change something out here, it actually makes no logical sense when you think about it, that it would have no effect on you whatsoever, right? We are human beings. We're emotion-making machines. And that's where our power lies. So don't be afraid of doing the work around that too. December's a good month to do that. But also, it's income generation in the South. So this is really important. Think about any areas that you still feel difficult or uncomfortable in around asking for money, around money conversations. And the reason why I'm focusing on conversations is because if you focus on just the area of how it feels to talk about money, you actually highlight a whole shed load of stuff around money that you could end for yourself in the different areas of your money habits. And it's a very, very powerful thing to do by yourself or with someone or in a group. So I said in last month's podcast that I use lists, right? And that I wanted to share with you a really powerful way to work with lists in terms of being focused and disciplined in crafting your day. And I said, this is something that I actually do. I do it every single day. Takes seconds, okay, and sometimes I even just do it in my head, right? But more often than not, I write it down. So I'll write a list of everything that needs doing. Then I'll look at it and think, what do I feel good about? I'll tick those off. But that's always going to raise my energy. When your energy raises, you achieve more, you attract opportunities to you to tick off other things without realizing it, etc. But here's the tip that I want to give you. So when I've got my list, what I do then is I move it to one side. I get a blank sheet or screen, or on my Outlook diary, I might put a thing, and I will identify just one big thing that I'm going to complete today, or 3 smaller things, and the rest gets put to one side, because the energy of completion completions is so powerful. Oh my God. It is amazing. You can literally feel the effects of it on your physical body, completions. Incredibly, incredibly powerful, really. I can't stress this enough. In fact, think for a second of something that you've completed recently and how it felt to complete, right? And if it's a big project, break it down into stages. I'm going to complete this stage of it. If you can do all of this for yourself, then remember you can help your clients and customers, your tribe do this too, because they're all feeling it too. And how wonderful does it feel to do things as a group? How wonderful does it feel? And this is why the challenges thing is so popular. You know, when people do a 5-day challenge or a 21-day challenge, etc., that's why it's so powerful, because you're coming together around something that doesn't always feel easy, and you're collaborating. It's almost like you're all getting these torches and you're all shining them into the same point, and then you get this single powerful beam, and that's what you're doing. And that's pretty much what I have to give you for December. What I can say though is, oh my God, I am really excited about December, not just because it's Christmas, but energetically, it's a powerful, exciting, welcome month.
Beautiful. I wanted to touch base some moments that you mentioned. One of them is about grounding and embodying grounding. And this is what we can do for ourselves, but we also can teach our clients or remind them about the grounding. So this is how we can our customers. Then what I loved, you mentioned useful endings. Because the moment, even in the beginning, when you said it's a month of endings, and I felt like a jolt feeling, this negativity around ending. But when you put it into perspective of useful endings plus completion, it's totally different game. And I will put the link to your methods that you describe in details about the completion process. What I've done for 14 days, I did exactly as you suggested, and then I modified. So for me, I go into micro completions. In the beginning of the day, I divide it into 30-minute segments. And let's say if I have a meeting for an hour, I just fill in 2 segments with it's a meeting, right? And then when it's finished, I cross it out. When I need to move it, I will move it. But this sense of completion is so powerful. I also took this at the end of my list. I write 3 negotiables in terms of I need to finish those things, rain or shine. They are there for a reason. So it's a very powerful approach that I learned from you. I modified that it works for me.
Inga, can I just say how absolutely delighted I am, first of all, that you took something that I gave you and then you expanded on it and you made it your own. You felt into it, you created a relationship with it. It's such an important thing you said when you said, try it on, shift it around until it fits you properly, right? Don't necessarily just take everything I'm doing, suggesting parrot fashion. Work with it, make it your own. That's such an important thing to do. And it's really, really effective. It brings results every single time. It's been such a joy and pleasure to do this series with you. I can't wait to see how the people, how all of you listening do with these, what happens for you. Please, please comment below and let us know how you're getting on. If you have questions, absolutely ask them, 100%. Remember, there's no silly questions.
Thank you. And thank you for giving your time. This is exactly what you said about authentic giving. You invested this time for us. And for me, it was so important. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Can I just ask one thing of your people? I'm currently, so this is me practicing the energy of asking. I am currently working on my LinkedIn, building that up. I'd really love for people to connect with me on LinkedIn. It's Kurly Marwaha and Feng Shui. If you could maybe put the link down below, but I'd really love that.
Great. Yes, I will put the link below. And now what you inspired me to do actually shares this information on LinkedIn as well. So after
Brilliant.
videos are done, it will go on LinkedIn as well.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time, Inga, and for all
Thank
of you
you.
watching this.